Hi, I'm Natalie Podena, and today I'm comparing the 24mm Sony lens to the 20mm Sony lens. I got those lenses for a week because I am looking for a lens to vlog with, film with, and have a little bit of fun. And since I couldn't decide which wide lens to go with, I tested both lenses for a good week. At the end of this video, I'm going to tell you guys which lens I'm going to buy, and I will also tell you guys for whom the other lens might be a better fit. Before I'm going to talk about my personal experience, let's just have a look at the general facts with these lenses. First things first, the 24mm is a bit heavier than the 20mm. The 24mm weighs around 464 grams, which is around 1 pound, and the 20mm weighs 373 grams, which is around 0.8 pounds. So on paper, not a huge difference, but when filming, especially vlogs, there is a difference, but we will get into that later. Of course, there's also a difference in price. The 20mm retails around 1,099 euros here in Europe. I will write down what that would be in US dollars. And the 24mm, since it's a G Master lens, retails around 1,599 euros. And I will also drop what that is in US dollars in a text. Now that we have those facts, we will move on to some standard testings. I did do the autofocus dance, jumped out of frame, jumped into frame, put things in front of the lens and back, and honestly both lenses perform very well, and I wouldn't say that one is worse than the other. Sharpness is also great in both lenses. Taking pictures with them is also fun. I took some example pictures that weren't like fancy shots, but just simple shots to show you guys the difference in the millimeters. So I tried to stay at the same distance, and that worked great on the BB8. Less great when I photographed the moving subject being my cat, but I think you can get a pretty good impression. I also didn't really adjust anything. I set the ISO to 400, the shutter to 1/200, and just switch the lenses. So you also see the difference in the aperture with 1.4 or 1.8. So excuse if something is a little bit overexposed, but I wanted to make that comparison as hands-on and easy and good for you guys to see what the differences are. Generally, 1.4 and 1.8 won't break images or videos for you when you're on daylight or out shooting, or just, generally shooting. I think the only part where this is really going to make an impact is when it comes to low light, because sometimes the little extra 0.5 aperture will enable you to have less noise because you don't need to go up in your ISO. A little bit of a difference, footage looks more stable with a 24 than with a 20, but it's also a little bit of a minor thing to do. You have to be smoother with this one when walking around, or you just stop and do more stills. Something to consider. The actual difference in the frame, the 4mm, doesn't sound much, but also is a lot, especially when vlogging. When I vlogged with a 20mm, I did not have to extend my arm out to film myself. And then when I had the 24mm on, I really had to extend my arm, which made vlogging for a longer period of time pretty hard. But at the same time, it's not impossible to do. So you can go closer with a 20mm up to 0.19 meters or 0.63 foot, and with a 24 up to 0.24 meters, not millimeters, meters, and 0.79 foot. So that is a little bit of a difference, but also not a deal breaker really. All in all, not a huge difference in those lenses. Honestly, G Master or G Lens, both are great. I would love to tell you guys, oh, this is definitely worth the extra cash, or this is just as good, but they're both great. They're both great focal lengths. They're both fun to play with and be creative with. And they're both great to film with, to take pictures with. So I can't really say one is better than the other when it comes to general terms. I vlogged with both of those lenses. I can link you the vlogs in this video and in the description box down below, and you can see for yourself how a whole day with that lens is going. It was a bit more fun to vlog with this, with a 20mm. It's lighter, the angle is a bit more calm because I can hold the camera like this and still get very close if I need to. It's also great for astrophotography and landscape photography. The 24mm is a good versatile lens. Also possible to do astrophotography with landscape photography. So generally those two are very good in themselves. I sound like I'm selling those. So either is bad or good or the best lens. I feel like 24mm is really great for portrait photography, wedding photography, filming wide scenes on a gimbal. I can definitely see that lens there. And the 20mm is also great for filming, but if I had to take one of those on a job, I would probably go with this one. And this is more for vlogging, creative images, a little bit more fun. If one of those lenses would be the first prime lens that I would be getting, I would go for the 24mm because I feel like it's more versatile for filmmaking and photography. If you're just a photographer that wants to shoot portraits or fashion, then 24 would be a good prime lens, but for that price, you can also get the 35. As for me, I will get the 20mm because I do enjoy the wide angle that it has. It's great for vlogging. I know the stabilization isn't perfect and because it has none in the camera, in the lens itself. But I feel a little bit shaky footage is okay for me here and there, and I just like the focal length a lot. And also for photography, I did take more pictures with this lens of my cat than with a 24, which I was surprised by, to be honest, but I liked the angle and his paw just stretched into the camera and it was really fun to play around with. And it's lighter and I can see this in my kit as a very valuable addition. But also a fun one. And then the 24, I have to say, maybe someday in the future if I really need to, but so far I have a 24-70, so that is one of the reasons I wouldn't get that one. I hope you enjoyed this video, this comparison. I hope this helped you. If you have any more questions, just leave a comment down below and let me know, and I will try my best to answer them. If you liked this video, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.